A life and death battle between speed and poison, between absolute precision and imminent danger begins. Which instinct will win, the speed of the cat or the venom of the snake? Wild cat versus snake. A fierce battle for survival. Africa. The scorching land of sun and wild grass, where every blowing wind carries the breath of life and even death. In that world, there is no room for weakness. Every creature is a warrior forged by nature. Strong, resilient, and full of instinct. In the middle of the golden grassland, a slender figure moves as if gliding on the ground. Large ears stand upright, turning to the slightest sound. That is Serval, the wild cat with the longest legs in its family, born to hunt in the tall grass of Africa. Unlike predators that use force, servals are masters of silence and precision. Just by hearing the slight rustling sound under the grass, it can locate its prey with an error of less than a few centimeters. Then suddenly, that small body jumped up nearly 3 meters, a perfect jump combining speed and power. But today, its target was not a mouse or a small sparrow. Under the thick grass, another creature was moving, a snake. Its body stretched long, its scales glistening in the sunlight. One carried a deadly weapon, Venom. The air seemed to freeze. Serval lowered its body, its eyes following every smallest movement of its opponent. A life and death battle between speed and poison, between absolute precision and imminent danger began. The two predators charged at each other. The venomous snake fell before the claws of the master hunter. The serval retreated, his eyes still on the still prey, his breathing light and even. He won, but no glory in Africa is permanent. Because in the middle of this grassland, danger always lurks. For the serval, every day of survival is a victory. He must constantly move, constantly listen, because in this world, even the hunter can become prey. With just a moment of carelessness, he can become a meal for the leopard or lion, the hunters who rule the savanna. A hunter goes through the war, carrying the survival instinct that is ingrained in the veins of the wild cat. The sun rises again, dispelling the thin mist over the semi-desert of southern Africa. Further out into the dry rocky hills and bushland, where the wind carries the smell of hot earth and the calls of birds, another hunter
is dominating his own territory.
That is the Caracal, the warrior of the desert and the rocky hills. While the serval is attached to the humid tall grassy plains, the Caracal prefers dry, open lands, with many low bushes and rocky crevices, where it can hide and suddenly jump out in a split second. Its body is more muscular than the serval, with sandy yellow fur blending perfectly into the dry, sun-dried landscape. Its triangular ears are erect, with long black tufts of hair
At the tips like small spears, not only enhancing hearing, but also serving as a communication signal in the shade between individuals.
Its eyes are amber, reflecting the bright light of the desert, the eyes of a hunter who never blinks. The Caracal is capable of a vertical jump of nearly 3 meters, one of the most impressive jumps in the cat world. With that power, it can pounce on a flying bird or take down prey with just one accurate blow. Unlike the delicate and cautious serval, the Caracal is a confident, determined and proud hunter.
A true warrior of the arid lands.
In the middle of a bright noon, the ground cracks and the air vibrates with heat. In the open space between the thorn bushes, a flock of African guinea fowl is busy foraging. They are agile, alert birds, but often move on the ground, ideal targets for hunters who lie in ambush in the grass. Not far away, the Caracal lies crouched in the golden grass, its black ears twitching, catching every little sound. Its bright yellow eyes narrow, locking on its prey at the edge of the flock. A light breeze is enough to clear the scent of the hunter. In a split second it leaped. Caracal's lightning bolt shot through the air so fast that the naked eye couldn't follow. Lunch was neat and precise. That's the art of hunting of the lynx, quiet, lightning fast, without missing a beat. In addition to African guinea fowl, Caracal also hunts many other species. From field mice, wild rabbits, sparrows, to even young antelopes when given the chance. The rich menu helps it survive in even the driest places in Africa. A flexible hunter who never goes hungry for long. In the harsh land, Serval and Caracal still live their own way. Two warriors with two different instincts, but share the same single rule: survival. Because in Africa, if you're just a beat behind, you'll disappear forever. The sun rises high above the acacia trees, golden sunlight pouring down on the riverside forest. The air was hot, cicadas were chirping, and among the dappled light on the ground, a figure moved silently. It was the leopard, a solitary hunter, silent but deadly. Unlike the agile serval in the grasslands and the caracal of the dry rocky hills, the leopard chose for itself the world of canopy and shade. It is one of the most widely distributed big cats in Africa, from the Congo jungle to the Serengeti grasslands. No place is too harsh for it. Unlike lions that live in prides or cheetahs that need open spaces to accelerate, the leopard chose a solitary life, and that is its greatest advantage. Its body is a perfect combination of strength, flexibility, and stealth. The golden fur covered with round black spots is not only beautiful, but also a cloak of invisibility in the dappled light of the forest. The amber eyes, deep and sharp, always calm, as if they had seen both life and death of their prey. Unlike lions who rely on the strength of their packs, or cheetahs who depend on short speeds, the leopard is patient. It can stalk its prey for hours, even days, just to wait for the right moment. A precise jump, a single bite to the throat, and everything ends in silence. After each hunt, it drags its prey up a tree, away from hyenas and lions, a behavior unique to the world of big cats. From above, it eats while observing the entire forest below. A silent hunter, but dominant in the shade. A quiet morning stretches across the riverside forest. The sunlight filters through the foliage, scattering streaks of light on the ground. The baboons chirp and argue, then fade away in the warm wind. A pack of more than a dozen were moving, the alpha males on guard, their long fangs glinting in the sun. They are intelligent primates, but also the most ferocious and alert. With just a small noise, the whole herd will simultaneously counterattack in a frenzy. In the shade, the leopard lies still, its whole body tense as a bowstring. Its bright yellow eyes lock onto a cub that has strayed behind the herd. It knows clearly there is only one chance. And the leopard charges. The baboons scream, scrambling up the tree. The hunt ends quickly, neatly, and with chilling precision. The leopard's cold, expressionless yellow eyes only reflect the eternal law of nature. The strong do not need noise. Just a perfect and silent strike. When the roar subsides, nature returns to its familiar rhythm, the cycle of survival. From Serval, Caracal to Leopard, all predators share the same instinct to maintain the species. When breeding season arrives, male leopards mark their territory with scent and a low roar that echoes through the forest. Females entering the mating period will wander through many different territories and only choose the strongest male, the one who is strong enough to protect her in the most dangerous days. After conception, the female leaves, finding a place where there are no predators, a rock cave, a dense bush, or an old tree, to give birth to small, blind, and weak cubs. During the first few weeks, the mother leopard hardly leaves her cubs, only hunting in silence and always changing shelters every few days to avoid detection. They are taught by their mothers how to stalk prey, climb trees, hide in the sunlight, vital lessons for a future hunter. But the journey to adulthood is never easy. Many cubs never survive to be old enough to hunt for themselves. Because in addition to enemies such as hunger and disease, other dangers always lurk. A male lion can kill a cub just to eliminate a competitor. Hyenas and African rock pythons also often follow the scent of blood to rob the young creatures. Even in the jungle, humans are still the biggest threat. Traps, bullets, and smoke from forest fires make the shelter increasingly narrow. However, in the midst of all these dangers, leopards still survive, still raising their cubs with instinct and resilience passed down through thousands of generations. Because in this world, nothing is stronger than the will to survive, the thing that has helped it become a legend of the African shade. From the grasslands to the jungles, wild cat warriors continue their endless journey of survival. In the fierce nature, only instinct decides who will live. Subscribe to the channel to not miss the next battles of the wild world. Life in the cycle of birth and death. In the vast golden fields of the Serengeti, before the sun has time to lift the curtain of clouds in the east, there are small movements that gently stir the quiet space. In the light morning mist, faintly visible among the dry grasses, are the familiar images of small, graceful creatures with erect ears, round and sharp eyes, Thompson's antelopes. Not tall, not ferocious, nor possessing fearsome claws or long horns. Yet they are one of the indispensable central characters in the vivid picture of the African grasslands. Thompson's antelopes, affectionately known as Tommy, are one of the most common antelopes in East Africa. They have a neat physique, only about 60 to 90 centimeters tall and weigh no more than 30 kilograms. But hidden behind that small appearance is a body built to run, to survive. Each muscle is slender but strong, the long legs like springs always ready to spring. When threatened, they can reach speeds of up to 80 kilometers per hour and make sudden changes of direction, making even the most experienced predators such as leopards and lions struggle. A female antelope stands still, her eyes looking far away towards the horizon. Next to her, a young antelope only a few days old is waddling and learning to run. Life here always begins in such a fragile way. The little creatures must learn to run before they can stand, and it is no coincidence that the Thompson's antelope are born knowing how to hide. The dark brown fur that runs from the flanks to the bellies acts as camouflage, making them almost disappear in the knee-high grass. In the dry season, when the grass begins to change color and the water in the last swamps dries up, the Thompson's antelopes also begin their migration with the rain. Together with millions of wildebeest, zebra, and gazelle, they form one of the greatest migrations on the planet, a living symphony that reverberates across the Serengeti. In the sweltering midday heat of the Serengeti, when the sun is high in the sky and the wind is a dry whisper through the withered grass, everything seems to stand still. The water holes have dried up, leaving cracked mud and the footprints of hundreds of creatures. Thompson's gazelles huddle in the shade of acacia trees, heads bowed, intently munching on the last remaining stalks of dry grass from the rainy season. It seems a peaceful scene, but beneath the carpet there is an undercurrent of tension. The cheetah is closer than ever. Unlike lions or hyenas, predators of numbers or sheer force, cheetahs are masters of speed, lone warriors who stake everything on a single moment. There are no second chances, there is no margin for error. It was either a meal or another day of hunger. Hidden in the low grass, the female leopard slowly crouched down. Her mottled skin blended into the dappled sunlight, creating an almost perfect camouflage. Only when looking closely could one see that the muscles under the thin skin were tensing. Breathing slowly but deeply, like a spring being compressed to its maximum. The distance was 70 meters. The wind was favorable. A young antelope broke away from the herd, leisurely running after a small butterfly. It had no idea that it was in its sights. The cheetah breathed heavily, its heart pounding like thunder. It did not eat right away. Contrary to the pride of a victor, the leopard lay quietly beside its prey, recovering its breathing and exhausted energy. Once calm, the cheetah began tearing at the antelope's thigh, the first bite of meat in nearly 3 days of starvation. It ate quickly, not out of greed, but out of survival instinct. Every second was a risk of being robbed. Thompson's gazelle, the swiftest of the savannas, had lost the deadly race. But not because he was weak. It was simply that fate was not on his side this time. In the cruel but perfect cycle of nature, every chase is a balancing act. The death of one creature is the life of another. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or evil. There is only law. The law has existed for millions of years before humans appeared, and will continue long after us. As the sun set in the west, the cheetah's shadow stretched across the ground. He silently dragged the antelope's body toward the bush, away from hungry eyes. No sound, no glory, just a meal and another day to live. As dusk fell on the African plains, where the last rays of sunlight dyed the acacia trees golden and stretched across the dry land, the clamor of the day began to fade. Elephants retreat to the bush. Lions lounge lazily after a late meal. But when everything seems to be resting, another creature sets out. Quietly, discreetly, it lives in the world of darkness, where few people notice. It is the African aardvark. With its strange appearance, a pig-like head, long rabbit-like ears, a thick kangaroo tail, and sharp, curved, shovel-like claws, the aardvark is a product of almost separate evolution. It is the only surviving member of the order Tubulidentata, a group so ancient that no other species resembles it. As darkness covers the savanna, an individual aardvark emerges from a deep hole, its nest, after hours of daytime sleep. Its ears are erect, its long nose sniffs constantly, its gait is low and cautious. No hurry, no hesitation. It has lived that way for millions of years, and it continues to live that way fully. The first thing it looks for is food, and the menu for the night is the same: ants, termites, tiny creatures that swarm underground. With its superhuman sense of smell and keen hearing, the aardvark easily detects an active termite nest underground. It moves closer, using its front claws to claw at the ground, as hard as dry concrete. Within minutes, a large termite mound is torn apart. And then, like a pink ribbon of flesh, its 30 cm-long tongue snakes in, clinging to the panicked swarms. It eats tens of thousands of them every night. No chasing, no fighting, just patience, and a body optimized for one purpose: digging and licking. But the aardvark is more than ant hunter. It is also the architect of the savanna. The nests it digs, which can be up to 10 meters long, with many side passages, are not only its own shelter, but also become a second home for a host of other species. When the aardvark leaves, its nests are taken over by honey badgers, snakes, owls, and even baby hyenas hiding from the sun. It digs as if it were writing a blueprint for living things that cannot dig. Although it can dig fast, even when being chased, the aardvark is a gentle and vulnerable creature. When encountered by hyenas or cheetahs, it is unlikely to fight. It chooses to run, or to dig its claws into the ground, hiding underground as if it had disappeared. Only when absolutely necessary will it turn around and fight back with its sharp claws. But for the most part, the aardvark's existence is a journey of avoidance and patience, something that has kept it alive through ice ages and the changing times. On dry nights, when the plains are cracked and many species sleep in silence, the aardvark still walks. It traverses dusty paths, away from the moonlight and its stalkers. Each step is a moment of connection with the earth, where it knows every scent, every tiny movement in the earth, like the back of its hand. And in the early morning, when the sky has just faded to gray, it returns to its nest, disappearing underground, leaving only faint footprints in the red dust. As the aardvark disappears into the earth with the first light of dawn, the Serengeti welcomes another visitor, small, squat, with a slightly crooked gait, but one with an indomitable spirit that borders on madness. honey badger, Mellivora capensis, is the creature's name. While many species shy away from danger, the honey badger walks straight at it. It's not big, just over 70 centimeters long, weighing less than 15 kilograms, but anyone who has seen it fight will never forget it. The honey badger often seeks out the aardvark's abandoned nests for shelter during the day. The cool, secluded underground dens are the perfect place to escape the scorching sun and the eyes of predators. But when night falls, like many nocturnal creatures, it steps out, and the line between prey and predator is blurred. Unlike the aardvark, a gentle creature that lives on ants and termites, the honey badger is a true omnivore. It eats insects, reptiles, birds, eggs, rodents, and even venomous snakes. That's right, venomous snakes. Not because it is completely immune to venom, but because its skin is so thick that the fangs of snakes like the African cobra can hardly penetrate it. And if it is bitten, the honey badger can fall into a state of mild paralysis, lose consciousness for a few hours, then wake up, shake its head, stand up, and continue eating the rest of the snake. Its body is short, its legs are short, but it is extremely flexible. Its 6 mm thick skin not only protects it from snakes, but also allows it to turn around even when it is caught by a predator like a lion or hyena. The honey badger can turn its head and counterattack while being held down. Combined with its strong jaws, razor-sharp claws, and unbelievable recklessness, it makes even the largest predators afraid. But honey badgers are not only known for their tenacity, they are also known for their surprising intelligence. Having been recorded using tools, using twigs, rocks, and even twisting cages to escape in studies, honey badgers are smart, stubborn, and strategic creatures. They are known to lure snakes out of their burrows, chase vultures away from carcasses, and even work with the greater honey guide to find beehives. The evening wind blew gently across the parched grasslands of southern Africa, stirring up dust and rustling sounds. The sun was sinking toward the horizon, sweeping the last of its light over the cracked earth and the bare thorn bushes. In the seemingly peaceful scene, an eerie silence fell, the silence of an impending confrontation, where there was no room for retreat. From the undergrowth, a small, squat black figure moved. The honey badger, hunched, head low, wavy gait, was sniffing the ground, searching for familiar tracks. Its nose wrinkled, its eyes narrowed, something was lying nearby. Then suddenly, a high-pitched hiss tore through the air. Before it, curled like a live wire, was an African cobra nearly 2 meters long, ashen gray, its neck fanned out, a symbol of death. They faced each other. The snake raised its head, its front body erect, its tongue lolling out as if measuring the distance. Its shiny black eyes locked on the dwarf creature, seemingly disdainful, but not complacent. The snake knew the one before it was small, but not easy to bully. It is not just a fight, it is an affirmation. I may be small, but I am never afraid. The name honey badger comes from this habit. It loves honey, wax and bee larvae. But wild beehives in Africa are often well hidden and contain thousands of African bees, one of the most aggressive bee species in the world. The honey badger still does not give up. It uses its claws to scratch the beehive, ignoring the dense stings on its face and snout, areas with little hair, just to dig out each piece of wax, each fat larvae. It eats voraciously, ignoring the bees that are frantically alerting the whole hive. Everything about the honey badger, from its gait, its hunting style, its reaction to danger, carries such a fierce energy that one sometimes wonders, how can such a small creature survive in a land of lions, leopards, cobras, and hyenas? The answer lies not in claws or teeth, but in will. In Africa, sometimes survival is not about being the biggest or the fastest, but about never retreating. And so in the silence of the night, while other species remain cautious and slinking away, the honey badger continues to move. It does not seek attention, nor does it seek glory. But its every step, quiet and determined, has become legendary on the dry plains of the Dark Continent. A small creature, but no one dares to underestimate it.